We all love a good origin story, and Mending a Broken Hearth is no exception. In summer of 2020, we moved my mom back up here from Florida to live with us, and the intention was that we would build above our garage a mother-in-law suite that she could live in for a few years, and then our daughters, when they're teenagers and young adults, could live there as needed. We called out several builders. Many never responded. A couple did come out and talk to us and look at the space. One never responded to us again. A couple others gave us bids, and they were in the 250 to 300,000 range minimum, which is essentially a new house. Between lumber prices, labor shortages, that is just extravagant. But that's what the reality was at that point in time, especially. So we joked, that's like buying an entire house. So that's what we did. We searched in our area because we wanted to keep my mom close, and searched all the listings we could, and very quickly realized that it would need to be a fixer, which that wasn't a problem. We were okay with that. And in order to keep it in our budget and my mom's budget. And the list of fixers was quite short. So then my husband said, hey, what about that house around the corner that has the broken pillars? We had walked by it a lot of times and thought if someone could just put some love into it, it would be a beautiful house. Very unique house for the neighborhood. It just was obviously in disrepair. So it was kind of a joke at first, but then as we started talking about it and thinking about it, we decided that could be a great fit. It's literally 4 houses, 5 houses around the corner. Would have my mom super close, near her grandkids, near us. That would be amazing. That would be awesome. But of course, it wasn't up for sale. But we had never been inside before. We did not know this neighbor. We did not know the state of the inside or anything about it, other than we loved the location and we knew that it could be a great fit. So the offer included, like I said, a price that accounted for the repairs. It included that we wanted an inspection. We would pay for that. And that we would use a real estate attorney. We would not need a real estate agent, which would save some of the fees. That the inspection report was to make sure that there wasn't any deal breakers. We didn't want any structural foundation issues, any major roof issues. If the major electrical systems or plumbing systems needed big things, we were totally comfortable taking on the cosmetic things up to quite and we repaired a lot of stuff. So next, my husband literally went up and knocked on their door. Again, we didn't know these people, but we wanted that house and that location. He's a very confident man, and he was really nervous because we had no idea what we were walking into, what their reaction would be. Would it be positive and they would be excited about this? Would it be an aggressive no? We had no idea. And they said yes, that they were in a position that this was actually an answer to their prayers, really. They, without going into personal details, they needed to change their living situation from what it was to get the dad into some assisted living, and they had no way of getting from point A, where they were, to point B. And this was their solution. It was going to work well for them, work well for us, and it built immediately a lot of trust on this mutual motivation to get from there to there. We scheduled the inspection, we worked with the real estate attorney, and it took several months to get all the terms set, get all those pieces ready to go, but then we were able to close. We used an inspector that is amazing. He is so detailed, and because we already knew him, we were able to convey kind of our goals from this inspection. We'd never been inside. We did not know what he was walking into, let alone what we were really getting. We didn't know the layout of the house, condition of things, nothing. So he did an amazing job going top to bottom, drawing us a sketch of the layout of the house. It was a 30-page report, 40-page report, going through this house with tons of details. Amazing. We were very fortunate. No major structural issues, no foundation issues, no roof issues. Everything that was a problem, we could absolutely handle and take care of. So with that report, I spent some of that time between getting the report and actually finishing closing, creating the entire game plan, just based on what I knew in that report. So what materials we might need, what things I needed to learn, skills that I needed to start picking up to be able to accomplish this project. I made Gantt charts, I made spreadsheets galore, priced everything that we could. My mom started picking out the finishes, the details, the lights, the cabinets, the flooring. It was rated a C5, which is not able to be funded by a loan. So we had to go with a hard money option for the first 6 months just to get through renovation. Then we could refinance and go into conventional. But with that, we had a timeline. It could not go past that point as far as our loans were concerned. We could not afford to have more time than that put into the project. Everything had to be ready to go. We had to move fast and we had to move efficiently in order to get from there to there. And really, because of the paperwork for the refinance, we had to be done in about 5 months, not the full 6, and leave that leeway for the paperwork. So we hit the ground running. We got the keys at the end of October 2021, and within 5 days, we had the junk removal crew there. Within 10 days, we had our first demo day, and we're literally going through that house from day one. Day one consisted of getting the keys and doing an initial walkthrough to see how closely my plan matched with reality and make adjustments. In those next couple of days, it was more investigating, pulling out cabinets, taking apart things, but there's still all that junk in the way. Materials at that point in time were taking a long time to arrive, and we did not want our plan delayed because we were just waiting for the kitchen cabinets. We put in the orders for all those things, the flooring, the cabinets, the lights, anything that we could order almost, we did. A lot of things luckily did show up earlier than expected. So again, it went into the garage. That was great. I was happy to have it on hand. Everything had to be replaced. Every inch of flooring, every cabinet, every vanity, every light. We replaced every interior door, all the trim. Everything had to be repainted. It was going to be a lot of work top to bottom. But with so many things needing to happen, we also couldn't really afford to hire it out to pros. Like that, paying an hourly rate for all of that stuff would blow our budget so far out of proportion. So I took on the project. I have skills in woodworking and some of the construction skills, especially all of these cosmetic things, completely in my wheelhouse. And as a stay-at-home mom, I was able to take that on and push some of the other responsibilities temporarily off to other parts of the family. I was the best fit for the job, and I can say that I had never felt more confident in myself in anything in my life. That this was something that I could take on and I could succeed at and figure out and problem solve my way through. I had some great resources, both locally and in my family and online, that I could lean on to help fill in the gaps where my skills didn't match. And then my husband, who has a tech job, would come in and be, as we would call it, my dumb labor. He's really not dumb. But he would come in and not want to do the brain power side of it and just want to be the smasher or the tall person. So he would be my banister smasher, be my sounding board as I was struggling through problem solving, be the ceiling fan cutter. Go watch that video. Kind of funny too. The Lowe's staff got to know my name. I was in almost every single day at about 8:30 in the morning, drop the kids off, go to Lowe's. That was my plan. And I would collect any of the supplies that were missing for that day. They were starting to follow along with the project and ask me questions, see how things are going. It was a really fun relationship throughout the project. That was totally unexpected. So we finished after about 4.5 months. I did not think we were going to finish on time. There were so many hurdles that we had along the way, and I was so proud when we got to the end. I had multiple times where I came home and cried on the floor, days where we literally cheered out on the front doorstep. I had slivers and cuts and bruises, and I broke my husband's toe at one point. We had, partway through the project, all of my tools stolen. It was quite the roller coaster. So I'm really excited to share with you all these other pieces of the project. Keep following along. We called it Mending a Broken Hearth because when we came into the house, it really did feel like it was a sad, depressed, broken house. So kind of as a play on words, we have been healing the heart of that house, mending the broken hearth. So it's a really fun story. I hope that you can follow along and come subscribe, come follow me. I have released some videos already, so go check those out. They're all labeled Mending a Broken Hearth, but I have so much more to tell, and I want you to come and see how it all unfolds and how everything transforms.